Welcome back, Jebel Ali. In this tutorial, we're going to make our teacher unhappy when we get the question wrong. I know it's unfair, but we're going to do that. Now, I'm just going to make my code easier to see. Now, I'm just going to remove the first part here. Okay, so we're not going to have my hello class part. I'm just doing that. So, I'm just going to drop that there so you can see the code a little bit easier. So if I join that, it doesn't really make any difference. You just go straight in and ask me what my name is. Okay, so I'm just going to stop that. And also, I've added two questions here. So I've got my answer. I'm asking what's 2 plus 2, checks if the answer is 4, and says well done if it's 4. And then 2 times 5, 2 times 10, if the answer is, 2 times 10 is 20. If answer equals 20, it's going to say well done, the answer is 20. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm just going to remove my question now. I just want one question. Okay. Now at the moment, all he does is check if the answer is correct and just says well done. Now I want him to do two things now. I want him to say well done if it's correct, and I also want to say you've got it wrong and then appear unhappy, because this virtual teacher is not a happy teacher sometimes. So instead of an if statement now, we will use something else. We're going to have an if-else statement, and that was in control. So we're using an if-else statement. Okay. So I'm going to ask a new question. So go to my sensing again. So I'm going to ask, can you remember this from before? So I'm going to ask, still a maths question, what is 3 times, so use the x, 3 times, what should we say, 3 times 4. So we're going to ask 3 times 4, then I'm going to drag my if. So an if statement has one mouth. An if-else statement has two mouths, has the if part and the else part. So if the answer equals, so we're going to go to operators, so we're checking if the answer equals, what we're checking if the answer equals 12. So if, and then remember we go back to sensing, we need the answer variable. So I take my answer variable and I place that inside my if. So it's checking if whatever's inside here is equal to 12. If it is, like before, we're going to say correct. The answer is 12, and I'm going to say well done. Okay, now if the answer is not 12, so whatever you typed in is not equal to 12, it basically misses this part and goes to the second part, the else. So I'm going to put a new message in here, and I'm going to say, oh dear, the answer is wrong. Now also, I'm going to make my sprite look unhappy. Now if you remember, when we created our costumes, we had a happy and a sad costume. If you click on the costumes for your sprite and check, you have a happy and a sad. Okay, so go back to my code. Now to change your costume, you need to go to looks, and then you've got switch costume. Okay, that's a special block that will change your costume. Because you see it's already changed when I put it on here. So I drag the switch costume to sad inside my else block, just above my say block. Okay, so if I get it wrong, it will change the costume to sad. But we want a happy teacher at the beginning of our test. Okay, so really you must make sure you go to looks, and then you need to switch your costume to happy, but right after the green flag is clicked. So I'm going to choose the happy. Now remember, I'm getting the happy and sad from the name of the costume. So happy and sad. Okay, so on my code. So basically when my green flag is clicked, you'll notice my character becomes happy again, and it goes straight into asking what my name is. I type in Mr. Hall, I tap on the tick, it says hello Mr. Hall for 4 seconds, then it's going to ask me my first question. Now you remember, if I get the question right, it's going to say well done. Now I'm going to get it wrong, I'm going to put in 12, and I click on the tick, and you see it's still happy. And then it's gone on to my second question here where it says, what is 3 times 4? So if the correct answer is 12, it will say well done. Now I'm going to put the incorrect again. So if I put in here 5, and when I click on the tick, it's going to miss this section and jump into this part because it ignores this because it's not equal to 12 because I've typed in 5. So when I tap my tick, it says, oh dear, the answer is wrong, and it switches to costume sad. Okay, so that is how you have 2 choices here. You check if it's right, or in this case else, wrong. If answer equals 12, it will say that, and you've typed in the word 12. If you don't type in the word 12, number 12, it will miss this section of the code and jump directly to the else and display the sad costume and the sentence, oh dear, the answer is wrong. And now when I press the green flag, he's happy again because I'm starting the code again with the happy face. Okay, so what I want you to do in this lesson is ask 2 questions using the if, or more, you can do more than 2 if you want. Ask questions using the if, else block which you find in control just here. Okay? And that enables you to check if the answer is correct or wrong. Remember, you'll be using maths questions here. Okay? Try that and see how you get on, and I look forward to seeing the results of your hard work.